Right now on Hoosier News Source, find out about what some call a breach of privacy, Facebook, and how to make sure you aren't being tracked.
And IUSA had its election. Find out who is representing you on campus.
And I have when to expect flurries as well as when the warmth will return in your weekly forecast. Hoosier News Source starts now.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Hoosier News Source. I'm Samantha Haynes.
And I'm Larmy Sanyon.
Sarah McCorkle has what's in store for weather this week. Sarah?
Thanks, Samantha. As the rain and storms leave us tonight, snow will be trailing behind it, which could affect tomorrow morning as you're headed to your morning classes. Taking a look at the hourly forecast, 8 a.m., 32 degrees with some chance for flurries. 12 p.m. warming up a little bit to 36, and then 4 p.m. not warming up much, 37 degrees, but the chance for precip goes down a lot. So definitely embrace for those cold temperatures on Wednesday. And now as we head into Thursday, we can expect to see some sunshine due to a high pressure system coming through our area. So taking a look at the map, you can see this high pressure system residing over our area, bringing with it cooler temperatures. And then you can also see the snow trailing behind the high pressure system. So once again, once this high pressure system passes, we can expect snow and rain chances to return, unfortunately. Now let's take a look at what the rest of the week looks like. So Wednesday, those chances for flurries return, and on Thursday, you can see that high pressure system coming through our area, bringing with it sunny skies, and then as you head into Friday, the rain and snow chance return, and then as we head into the beginning of next week, temperatures are raising a little bit, but there are some chances for rain. So while there are chances for rain this week, temperatures are starting to warm up slightly as we head into next week. And that's all for this week's weather. Larmy, Samantha, back to you.
The IUSA Election Commission confirmed the Voice IUSA ticket the unofficial winner of the 2018 elections. Final vote tallies have not been released, which saw the Reform ticket in second place and the Unite ticket in third. So far, it is unclear if they will be penalized through vote deductions or campaign violations. Whether students can trust Facebook or not is suddenly the talk of campus after a privacy breach affecting 50 million users. Students at IU are wondering how to keep some control over their profiles without fully deleting the app. Hoosier News Source reporter Abir Kamran has more.
Facebook is under fire for collecting and distributing an extensive amount of user data. You can download a copy of your Facebook data to see what they know about you. Scroll down to Settings, and under the General tab, you can click Download My Facebook Data. Facebook has a list of my account activity and every interaction I've made on Facebook. I also saw the list of companies that have me on their advertiser lists. Many people, including IU Junior Kiki Dunn, feel that Facebook's distribution of data is unethical.
So I find this whole information sharing thing very intrusive. That's my private information, and while I don't use Facebook that much for anything personal or important, it's still just wrong.
Professor Jay Duncan says that your activity on Facebook isn't the only thing you should be worried about. Websites that you sign into using Facebook can regularly access your Facebook data.
Use Facebook as a single sign-on to other websites, then those websites are also getting some of your Facebook data with it. And the way that Facebook compartmentalizes its user data when you share with third parties like an application, a game, a quiz, a website using Facebook, they actually get much more than just your ID. They get a lot of information about you.
Under Settings, users can click on the Ads tab to see what kinds of information advertisers have access to. The default settings allow advertisers to target users based on a variety of categories. Under that same page, you can click the Your Categories tab to see the assumptions Facebook makes based on your browsing history. I never disclosed my political views on Facebook, but the site was able to make a guess based on my friends, likes, and shares. It is recommended that you uncheck the categories of personal information that Facebook and advertisers use to target ads. For Hoosier News Source, I'm Abir Kamran.
Facebook is working to combine its multiple privacy pages into one page that will allow users to delete some of their data.
The University of Wisconsin at Stevens Point says it'll eliminate more than a dozen liberal art degrees. The news sent a shock around the Midwest, but don't worry, Hoosiers, we're not next. This is a special case to help balance their budget and enrollment. Bloomington is moving forward with getting the controversial armored police vehicle. Thursday, Mayor John Hamilton issued a statement explaining why he made the decision to approve the purchase. Many dislike the idea of having the police department having the vehicle because it is viewed as militaristic. Mayor Hamilton said it is not appropriate to deploy the vehicle as crowd control at a protest or in any of the numerous situations BPD faces that do not warrant a critical incidents response team. Bloomington Police Department is expecting the vehicle to be complete sometime this summer. Speaking of the Bloomington Police Department, recently they adopted the red flag law and is encouraging other states to do the same. Also known as the Jake Laird Law, the red flag law came after a man shot and killed Officer Timothy Jake Laird in 2005. The purpose behind the law is to take dangerous weapons away from people that are struggling mentally and attempting to hurt themselves and others. Currently, the IU Police Department is withholding 72 guns.
Kind of a pilot program, and if it's working in the state of Indiana, then maybe some others can at least take a step towards controlling weapon violence.
Anonymous flyers called the Black Papers were posted around the IU campus last week. According to the flyer, the Bloomington Faculty Council agreed to create a diversity course on all its campuses. That was in the spring of 2017. A year later, the flyers asked why it's taken so long to implement the general education course. The council says the delay is in part due to not having the right people available.
Coming up, we tell you how the Hoosiers did in sports this week.
Plus, we tell you what's going on around the world.
These stories and more coming up. Stay with us.
And it's an honor to be here.
After suffering a season-ending injury in late March,
As you can see behind me,
Welcome back. World News reporter Courtney Sisk joins us in the studio with the latest lowdown. Courtney?
Thanks, Samantha. Israel's defense minister rejects an investigation into the violent Palestinian demonstration. At least 16 Palestinians are dead and over 1,000 injured from Israeli forces after they say the event turned violent. The demonstration marked the first day of the 6-week protest to demand that homes come back from Israel. The majority of deaths come from the terror group Hamas. And for the first time in modern history, murder rates in London surpassed those of New York City. 22 people were killed in March, most from stabbings. Both cities have similar population sizes. However, New York's crime rate dropped 87% since the 90s. The investigation of Noor Salman, the widow of the Pulse nightclub gunman, is also dropped. Now Salman will return home to her family and son after she spent over a year in prison. Prosecutors accused her of aiding her husband's terror assault that killed 49 people. Orange County Sheriff Jerry Deming said in a statement, "Many may feel that justice has not prevailed. However, the system of justice has spoken, and we should look at the continued healing for the families and our entire community so that this event will not define us." That's all for this week in World News. Larmy, Samantha, back to you.
The IU sports teams are back in action this weekend. IUS TV sports reporter Joe Cantor joins us in the studio with the highlights. Joe?
Thanks, guys. The Indiana women's basketball team is WNIT champions. Tyra Buss and Amanda Cahill accomplished their mission. It was total team effort with 4 of 5 Hoosier starters scoring in double figures. They defeated the Virginia Tech Hokies 65-57 in front of a record crowd of 13,000 people. The average attendance this season was 3,000. Huge win for Indiana and their program. The IU football team hosted their pro day earlier today for their NFL hopeful players. The exercises and drills gave players one last chance to impress scouts ahead of the upcoming NFL draft on April 26th. For IU, their spring game will be April 14th as they try to replace all the talent they'll lose in the upcoming draft. So get out and see your Hoosiers. The Indiana softball team continues its red-hot start to Big Ten play. The Hoosiers swept their second Big Ten series in a row, defeating Michigan State this past weekend. Once again, Tara Traynor was dominant pitching in the circle, but even when the Spartans did make contact, Katie Lacefield was there with a dominant defensive play, and Maddie Westmoreland picked up the Hoosiers with her bat, driving in several RBIs, including this big one here. The ladies are now a perfect 6-0 in the Big Ten and will look to continue that hot streak later this week. How about that record crowd? 13,000 little girls and adults on to watch IU in the WNIT. Huge win for the program.
Yeah, I think it's really inspiring for young women who might want to do something like that one day.
How about that Tyra Buss, though, really making it count in her final senior year?
Yeah, huge win. Great job by Tyra.
Well, thanks, Joe. That's all we have for you this week. For more campus and local news, visit our website at iustv.com.
And like us on social media. Like us on Facebook and IUSTV News, and follow us on Twitter at IUSTV News.
From all of us here at IUSTV, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.